What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and I'm bringing you a slightly different video on Saitama today. And if you haven't heard the news, then you're going to want to listen to this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for all your daily cryptocurrency content. Let's jump into it because this one is a spicy one. So look, Saitama 3815 is the price, down another 11.5%. You could argue the market is down as a whole, but look, 3815 with 8 zeros is the price. 2.5 million in volume, 7.3 million in liquidity. $200 million market cap. Now, there has been a couple of announcements, a couple of things that's happened today that totally, I think, has shaken this project. And the big question is, will it last another 21 days? And you're probably thinking, well, what's 21 days got to do with it? Well, we'll take a look in just a minute. So we did get this from Faltron, the leader of the community. You know, I'm all in on Cult. I'm out of Saitama. I should have dumped at 30 million. Best of luck. Now, you got to take this with a pinch of salt. I'm in a world where if this could be true, 100%, and I do think it's very fractured in the kind of wolf pack with Anime, Torres PR, all those guys, you know, and Faltron. But look, this is big. People, you know, people into Saitama because of Faltron. He's tried to keep it together. I remember being an AMA where he asked a question and he sort of said to Russ, you know, we need to start getting some W's. Doesn't feel like that's happened. And I think he's got to the point where he's like, do you know what? We need to move on. And I think there's a lot of people doing that. There's a lot of questions with this project. The big one right now on people's minds is this, the liquidity. Unlocks in 20 days. Now, if you remember, Russ talked about this. This liquidity is locked in the original developer of this token. So not Russ, not any of the dev team have access to this liquidity. So in 20 days, this unlocks. They did talk about relocking this, but in 20 days, this unlocks. This will just go back to the original dev of Saitama that no one really knows who it is. They could just walk away with this liquidity. Let's be really clear about this. They could walk away. I said that he could just walk away with 5.2 million. Now, interestingly, it's down nearly $2 million in about 3 weeks, but he could just walk away from it. I think all eyes are on this, and I think this from Faltron could be some damage limitation, because if that liquidity walks away, and again, it's speculation right now, that liquidity walks away, this is done. And the backlash, repercussions, what you want to say, will certainly be like something we've never seen before. Now, we have had some pretty weird and interesting tweets from Saitama Guru as well. So for those of you who don't know, he did an AMA with Anime, Torres PR tonight, and it's caused an unbelievable amount of ruckus. And probably some of this Faltron bit maybe to do with that. But look, since Inu Saitama Origin, I've attended AMAs on 20 plus different people's YouTube to help grow their channel and allowed 20 plus different members to host spaces. I try and get as many people as involved as possible without favoritism. I appreciate every single person for their efforts. It's a bit of a weird tweet. There is definitely a different tone to this tweet. More of a kind of, you know, I've done everything I can. This is kind of on you guys. And then we've sort of seen, you know, the other kind of leaders of the Wolfpack, or certainly the more vocal members of it, Kelbel, Classic Crypto, you know, again, appreciate that you're being fair, but Saitama's OG's leaving and some even flooding the project because of these people. Maybe it's time to be less fair and more strategic. And then Classic Crypto, yeah, laugh a lot. They've probably hosted the most official spaces and caused the most amount of OGs to leave, but hey, I guess I'm wrong one here. Now, even Classy, and this is, I like Classy, he's got some great content. I'd say more content is coming out about Cult DAO than Saitama right now. I think he is more bullish on Cult DAO. I could be wrong, don't want to put words in his mouth, but certainly when I look at YouTube, there is tons of videos daily coming out about Cult DAO. Now, I just think this is a little bit kind of people getting their knickers in a twist. You know, as long as the word of Saitama gets out, and this is Russ's space hosted by Jonathan Torres and Anime, so it's their agenda to push whatever they want, but ultimately Russ is the one that answering questions, how Russ answers questions. So look, I think it's going to be dead interesting in what happens. I think there's a lot of people sat on the fence with this, and I think 20 days from now is going to be D-Day. It's going to be the big one. We're going to see what happens. This is the main thing on lots of people's minds. What is going to happen with this liquidity? Now, you could argue they've got Saitama, they've got Saitama's Pro coming out. I don't think they've got the liquidity in it. If we talked about a V2 contract, which I've done a video on, and I genuinely think they should move to a V2 contract, they ain't got $7 million. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It could be the most crazy turnaround you've ever seen, and that they've been pocketing a lot of these tokens, and all of a sudden they can come up with $7 million to move to a V2 contract. So you've got to remember that's how they do it. Equally, if we play the balance game, they could unlock in 20 days, relock it onto Saitama, launch Saitama Pro, and this thing could absolutely go to the moon. does have a long way to go to get back up to the moon. But look, some interesting things from Saitama. This is going to be one to watch. We could see as much hype about this project potentially going under as we did about when Vegas was coming. But let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.